Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Galbraith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and one run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor Moriarty.
Now here's your host for Pittsfield Suns baseball, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to historic Wahconah Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready for a matinee game, the annual matinee game, with some FCBL action against the Bristol Blues. Good morning. It's a rare morning here in Pittsfield. My name is Billy Madewell. Thank you so much for joining me. And alongside me, as always, longtime broadcast partner Andrew Belargent. Andrew, beautiful morning with seeing everyone showing up here from elementary school, middle schools, even with the weather not being the greatest, and with the Suns right now 1-4, a great show of support.
Oh, indeed. It's an absolutely jam-packed crowd today. There are kids as far as the eye can see around here. I have no idea how many, but we got a home crowd on tap for this morning's game. It's sure to be a good one.
Now for this pregame, again, we are in the midst of a rain delay that's going to be starting in 4 minutes technically, and we're just going to be waiting to make sure that this ball game is going to get underway, and it looks like it appears to be the case. Sure, we did have some rain early on, but with the tarp, as you now see, currently on, they're just trying to readjust it, make sure that it's able to get off of the field, so that way we can get this ball game in and underway. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Andrew is going to have a full pregame with a trip around the FCBL, Major League scores from yesterday. And also, Andrew has an exclusive sit-down interview with outfielder for the Pittsfield Suns, Chad Shade. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Before we take action here on the field, whenever that might happen to be, with the tarp being removed from the field right now, why don't we have a quick look around what's going on around the FCBL here in the very early going of the 2018 summer season. Looking at the standings here, at the top of the line are today's visiting Bristol Blues, sitting in at a 4-1 record. Tied with those Blues here last night were the Worcester Bravehearts, who improved to 4-1 with their victory last night. Following up those two are the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, who are 2 games back in the win column at a total of 2-1. Breathing down the Sharks next are the Brockton Rocks at 3-2, a mere 7/100th of a point behind the Sharks in percentage. And a little bit of a descent, we see the Nashville Silver Knights at 1-3. And then rounding off our standings are the North Shore Navigators and none other than the Pittsfield Suns at 1-4. Now, having said that, having a look at games going on around, looking at yesterday, we only had one game go on all of yesterday. And, of course, anyone tuning in to last night's broadcast would have known that it was the game that happened here as the Suns hosted the Worcester Bravehearts, losing to the visiting Worcester Bravehearts by a score of 8-1. Meanwhile, we've got a few games going on around the league today, all games going on in the morning, as, of course, we have today's action here at Wahconah Park. In addition, the Brockton Rocks visit the Worcester Bravehearts at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, set to stand really any minute now. Meanwhile, at Home Stadium, the Nashville Silver Knights, in roughly about half an hour, will host the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Having said that, that will do for our trip around the FCBL. We will take a small break, and then coming back, as Billy mentioned recently, a bit of a sit-down discussion I had the opportunity to have with none other than Pittsfield Suns outfielder Chad Shade, here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. My name is Andrew Belarge, and joining me now for this exclusive interview is none other than Pittsfield Suns outfielder Chad Shade. Chad, how's it going right now?
So far, definitely have enjoyed my experience. Definitely would like to start winning some more games, and we're 1-4 right now. But I think we got some good talent, and definitely have the potential to start getting on a roll and get on a little hot streak here.
Yes, definitely. There's of course, definitely plenty of talent on this Suns roster. So starting off with, of course, yourself, it's been beat to death primarily by me, of course, the whole hometown narrative. Of course, we can't get enough of that. So, of course, you were a multi-sport athlete for Pittsfield High School, now coming to play for the Pittsfield Suns. So how is it like playing for your hometown team as a whole?
It's an unbelievable experience. One, just being able to play at Wahconah Park, where I played high school football games, got to play some high school baseball games, but then coming to Suns games, watching, my buddy Kevin Donati a lot playing here for the past couple summers, and also coming here as a kid. Remember singing the, I think, Take Me Out to the Ball game with my father at the Pittsfield Mets game in like 2000, which was really cool. So being able to come here and play for the Pittsfield Suns is a great opportunity, and I'm really excited about it.
Yes, we can tell you're certainly excited, as it's shown a lot on the field. You've definitely been off to a good start, second on the team in hitting, really shown off that really big cannon arm of yours. So, of course, off to a really good start this season. How would you say that over the course of a very long summer season, you intend to keep pace with your strong results to this point in the season and even maybe develop a little bit further?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is just staying level-headed. Baseball's a very tough game mentally. Just going up to the plate, it's just all about having an approach and not getting too frustrated, not getting too high, not getting too low, and just having a plan of attack at the plate. And also when you're in the field, just understanding situations. I think that throughout the year will, with a long season that we have, will keep things consistent throughout the year.
So talking again about yourself as a multi-sport athlete, of course, Springfield College, playing football and baseball, here showing off your talent as a baseball player. Looking in the long haul, of course, multi-sport athlete, would you say that you have any plans to pursue higher levels of play in any particular sport? And, of course, if you do, how are you using the Suns as a stepping stone for something like that?
Yeah, the Suns are definitely a great stepping stone, being in a competitive collegiate baseball league with the Futures League. You play a lot of good teams, and you just never know who's watching. If the opportunity did come about, that would be awesome. As I said, just being in this league is definitely a step in that right direction, just playing good competition.
So, of course, in your first season with the Pittsfield Suns, and as you just mentioned, your first real taste of FCBL, future collegiate action, how would you say your first impression of the FCBL is in general FCBL lifestyle?
It's really cool, actually, just getting to be with the guys. You're around the guys a lot. We travel a lot. We have home games. I get to the field probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock on home games, and then we travel together. So it's definitely really cool to be able to spend that much time with these guys who are great people. And also just, the competition we play is second to none. We're playing all the top college players, in the country on all levels, which is good for all of us, as hitters, pitchers. Just being able to play that kind of competition consistently will ultimately make us better ball players.
So real quick, getting back to your on-the-field stuff, of course, you're a prolific base stealer, sold a ton of bags for Springfield, already off to a solid start in that regard for the Suns. So take me through your thought process when you're on the bag, when you've gotten on base somehow, and then, of course, when you're about to go swipe a bag as a whole.
That's the first thing you got to look at is just the pitcher's move and how quick he is to the plate. And from there, it's just I like to steal bases because of the fact I think it gives us a better chance to score runs. If we can get in the scoring position, it just makes it that much easier for the guys behind us to just either move me over and then get me in, or to possibly just drive me in right from second. So I think, stealing bases is definitely obviously a positive when you can do it effectively. And so the biggest thing is just kind of understanding the catcher's arm and also the pitcher's kind of approach and how quick he goes to the plate.
Well, I thank you very much for the time you've given us today, and good luck to you on the field today, and good luck throughout the course of a long summer.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
This has been the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So with game action set to start here in just a moment, we are getting ready to call a beautiful early morning game here. And on that note, here with today's call, here is none other than Billy Madewell.
You can hear the roar of the crowd already, and that's how you know we have a great crowd on hand again here for the matinee game. This is the Daytime to Light School Day game being sponsored by the Greylock Federal Credit Union and Greylock Insurance Agency, as we currently have on-field lineup being announced. We're just awaiting for the national anthem, as the Suns crowd is really on par with one of the loudest that we've seen, especially this early in the day, let alone early in the game.
These kids have so much energy. Jeez.
We're going to listen into the national anthem now. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Beautiful national anthem there. And ladies and gentlemen, we're all set for a matinee Pittsfield Suns baseball game. And with a starting lineup for the visiting Bristol Blues, here is Andrew Belargent.
Leading off for the Blues in at second, number 5, Ian Oscar. Hitting second and manning the hot corner, number 1, Alex Laparco. Hitting third and at first is number 7, Richard Brereton. Cleanup goes to the center fielder, number 8, Connor Nolan, followed up by the catcher, number 38, Miguel De Los Santos. Sixth and residing in right is number 31, Peyton Stevens. And finally getting the opportunity to bat will be designated here, number 13, Giancarlo Bronton. In left will be number 6, Ethan Hunt, taking his hacks 8th. And rounding off the order here is shortstop number 3, Jeremy Sagun. They will have to deal with Pittsfield Suns starter number 41, Joey Rogers. Having a look at Rogers' numbers to this point, nothing particularly inspiring, although it is in a short degree of work. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 runs, 2 runs both earned on 3 hits, walking 1 and striking out 1 for a inflated ERA of 18, which, of course, in just 1 inning of work should be taken with a grain of salt.
For the defensive alignment here for the Pittsfield Suns, that comes as follows as the lefty Rogers is hurling to Gernak, the catcher. From third to first, you have Morrison, McHale, DiMartino making his first appearance as a Pittsfield Sun. Also Faircloth at first. And from left to right, you have Mendoza, Matthews, Shea. Now for the Pittsfield Suns in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Andrew, what's the big notion that they have to get over the hump here today?
Well, I mean, we talked about this to death yesterday when they lost to Worcester. They gave up a ton of base runners, particularly free passes, and that sloppy play just needs to kind of cut down. And I still want to play off what Chris Barbarata told you yesterday in clutch hitting, getting runners in scoring position and then cashing in on that.
Leading things off, the second baseman, number 5, Ian Osberg here for the Blues in the annual matinee game here for the Pittsfield Suns. The lefty Rogers has assigned in the lefty-lefty matchup, delivering the first pitch. That one's called, strike on the outside corner. This ballgame starting off at 10:45 in the morning.
Osberg early out of the gate, second in hitting for the Bristol Blues with a 400 average on 8 of 20 hitting, a couple RBI and a walk to his name.
Now the 0-1, a check swing. He did go around, trying to get out of the way. We saw that yesterday as well. And now it's quickly 0-2 here against Ian Osberg, the lefty Rogers, already in command. Here's the windup, kicks and deals. This one a short hopper, one hopper that is, going to McHale at short. Throw over to first is in time, one gone.
Yeah, that one was a really good batter face there for Rogers. He got Osberg down in the count and then forced him to swing at a pretty bad offering in some way of a defensive swing, making weak contact and finding a glove easily in the infield. This was an easy first out and a way to start the game for Joey Rogers.
Third baseman, number 1, Alex Laparca will now step up to the dish, batting in the right-handed batter's box with a slightly open stance. Rogers, the lefty, delivers. That's a fastball that gets in there, jets in about knee-high. Count is 0-1.
Laparca off to a slow 118 start. That's 2 of 17. He has been an opportunistic hitter, however, as he has 2 RBI and a couple walks.
Pitches upstairs, a ball on the strike now. Joey Rogers, when he is not on the mound, he does play the outfielder, of course, being the lefty. There's only a couple of positions that he can legitimately play, that he is limited to for the diamond at least. This one's fouled off. Count is 1-2. It's really hard to play lefty at second base, short, or third and catcher for obvious reasons, because you're going to have to go across from your body each and every time. So with this, he plays the outfield as well as pitcher. Not really too set on the first base bag. Here's 1-2. This one's in the dirt, a ball. The count here now 2-2. He's got a major in exercise health science, and he throws a fastball, a moderate fastball for a college prospect, running around 85 miles an hour. He's got a 2-seam curve, change, and a cutter. Pitch. This one blooping out, going towards center, but right there is Matthews, who reaches up and collects the out.
Again, really running it in on the hands, giving him the heat on that one. I'm actually surprised this thing made it into the outfield. It was a kind of like 75% swing that ran inside on the bat. I don't know how this thing left the infield, but it was not hit anywhere near hard enough for it to not immediately find a glove.
First baseman, number 7, Richard Brereton, will take his sacks. That's the number 3 batter with 2 men gone.
Brereton hitting a healthy 267, 415. He has hit a triple with an RBI. However, he has struck out a team-leading 7 times.
With that one, he sees the first pitch on the inside corner called strike. Count 0-1 with 2 men gone, just getting underway here in Pittsfield, with the Pittsfield Suns in a matinee game against the Bristol Blues. The 0-1. That one hit the plate. And that one, that came up towards us.
No, it almost actually got up here. It like hit it. That was close. That was close. How does that even happen?
I missed that on our camera as well. I hate to say. No, I'm sure that one was close.
Yeah, it looked like it kicked up from home plate and just spiked. That was something else.
The 1-1, well, that one's not going to do the same. It's very rare that we've ever seen that. That one's low for about 2-1 on a chilly, cloudy morning in Pittsfield.
If you happened to have been standing outside there, Billy, you could have easily had that ball, though.
That, or if my computer wasn't in the way, let alone the camera. Here's a windup from Rogers, the 2-1. That one bounces in and almost got home plate umpire Dustin Stetson on the top of the mask. Also on the bases here tonight, Andrew Gerard.
Are these baseballs made of rubber or something?
It's got to be the cold weather. The gravity apparently has intensified tenfold, and it's just dropping every pitch.
This is something else.
In this case, we might as well play slow pitch softball. Will be in there for a strike every time. 3-1. That one low and low inside, and that one's going to be a walk for Brereton. We'll see the center fielder, number 8, Connor Nolan, take some hacks.
Nolan hitting a 375. He's 6 of 16 with a 3 runs scored, a double, 3 and 3 walks to his name.
Nolan batting from the left-hand side. Brereton, the first baseman. Well, he's on his own defensive bag right now, but, well, now he's on the offense. Takes a moderate lead. Lefty versus lefty for Rogers at the plate. Here's the pitch. Just misses the outside corner, says Dustin Stinson, the home plate umpire. Already the crowd getting behind the Suns here on a very chilly, cloudy morning already, but the heat is on in the stands. The 1-0, beautiful fastball there and a two-seam action from Rogers. Called strike, a ball in the strike.
Very chilly indeed.
And you decided to bring shorts again.
Yes, fool me once.
Shame on, just walks away.
Yeah.
Rogers, the 1-1. Catches the outside corner yet again. This one at knee high. Count now is 1-2, so Suns crowd really going to want to get behind Rogers here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. A man on first and the first baseman, Brereton. Suns trying to get out of the inning. And a pickoff motion back towards first. I just felt my laptop for the first time in ice cold.
I hear that.
Check over on first. Here's 1-2. Almost had him there with the breaking ball. I believe that was his curveball. This one just missed. The count now is 2-2.
Had a good deal of movement around the time it reached the plate. That thing looked like it could have got the call, but nonetheless ruled a ball.
Rogers checks first, delivers a 2-2, swung and a miss for strike 3. That will end the inning unscathed. Great start here for Rogers and the Suns defense. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We now head to the bottom of the first with the Suns due up for the first time. We are going to keep it here and give you the starting lineup for your Pittsfield Suns.
Leading off, had the opportunity to speak to him during the pregame. Right fielder number 18, Chad Shea. Hitting second net short, number 5, Brian McHale. Hitting third and residing in center field, number 20, Dave Matthews. Cleanup goes to the first base, number 14, Dylan Faircloth, and following him up will be designated here, number 6, Alexander White. Hitting second and making his Suns debut today, number 8, Drew DiMartino. Batting 7th and in left, number 4, Vicente Mendoza. Behind the plate and batting 8th is number 26, Josh Gurnick. And finishing up the lineup is returning Pittsfield Sun third baseman number 13, Brett Morrison. They will go up against number 36, Jason Hebner of the Bristol Blues. Looking at Hebner, it seems as though Hebner will be making his team debut today.
Defensive alignment here for the Bristol Blues. Right now you see Hebner mock throwing. That's because De Los Santos is currently not ready. Now he is. So De Los Santos is going to be catching for the Blues here today. Going from third to first, you have Laparco, Sagan, Osberg, and Brereton. And going from left to right, Hunt, Nolan, Stevens. Well, you also have the opportunity. Want to give you the outfits for the Pittsfield Suns and the Bristol Blues. Again, for the Suns coming on their alternative black uniforms with white Pittsfield on the front embroidered with yellow. Red numbers on the left abdomen. White numbers embroidered with yellow on the back. White pants with a red seam down the sides. Black cap, black brand with a Suns P logo on the top. And as you see here for the visiting Bristol Blues, think away Los Angeles Dodgers uniform. For that, they have a gray uniform with blues in cursive in a solid blue color. Red numbers on the left abdomen, blue numbers solid on the back. They have gray pants with a blue seam down the side. They have a blue cap with a gray brim in the Bristol Blue logo with the note on top as well. Outfield dimensions here at Wahconah Park come as follows: 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in left field. That slides in by 3 feet at 374 in dead center field. The power alley, 403, the deepest part of the ballpark, is in right center. It sits there. And down the right field line, 305 feet, the shortest porch in Pittsfield. So here at Paul Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park in beautiful Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Today, not so beautiful when it comes to the weather, as a June chilly, cloudy morning, but it is a matinee game and a school day. We have a dozen of schools that are here in attendance right now cheering on their Pittsfield Suns, including this man from Pittsfield, right fielder number 18, Chad Shade.
As was mentioned when I had the opportunity to speak to Chad Shade, Shade's second on the team in hitting, 278 average, 5 of 18, couple doubles, 3 RBI, in addition to 4 strikeouts to this point.
Pitches outside for a ball. Count here is 1-0 to Shade. Haven't mentioned this on air previously. I will in a second, as Hebner has the 1-0. Pitches outside 2-0. I actually grew up with Chad Shade, going to the same church right down the street at Pilgrim Memorial Church with his brother Kyle, sister Natasha, father Bob, and mother Innie. Pitch is also inside now, 3-0, and you know Shade's going to be holding up the whole way.
For myself, I actually had the opportunity to play football against Chad Shade on a few different occasions as a member of the Taconic Braves. So and that was something else.
The pitch does hit the outside corner, 3-1, as he was a starting quarterback for the Generals.
Indeed.
Also the starter for the Springfield College Pride as well. So a multi-sport athlete.
Yes, he can
very
do it
hard
all.
to play both. 3-1 is upstairs on the outside corner. That one's going to be a walk here for Shade.
Well, never mind playing 2 sports and playing it at a high level, but talk about playing quarterback in football and still excelling at another sport. That just makes it even more impressive.
That's very true. Shade is going to be a junior at Springfield College. He is slated to be the starter in football at quarterback this upcoming season. Here's a shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale. A hot start here for the shortstop.
Indeed, leading the team in hitting at a .444 crisp batting average, 3 of 18 with 6 runs scored, 2 RBI, and 3 walks with a stolen base to his name.
Pitch was inside here to McHale. Count is 1-0. McHale, again, really having a hot start, if any, for the Suns. If they have anyone with a hot start, it would be McHale. Pickoff motion back towards first, and Shade saw it the whole way.
Oh, yeah, you could tell him. It's the first time pitcher allows a base runner in an inning. He's not going to be looking on to first for a pickoff throw, but apparently Chad Shade singing a different tune altogether right there.
This one off the end of the bat, and that one trickles foul. So a ball and a strike, nobody gone. Shade on first, just getting underway in Pittsfield, bottom of the first.
Of course, it doesn't help Shade's case that he's got to deal with a lefty hurler, or in this case, a northpaw.
Again, here at Pittsfield, home plate facing west. He comes from, well, the north side. The normal southpaw, but in this case, at a very different ballpark. That is Wahconah Park. And another pickoff throw towards first. I thought bases umpire Andrew Gerard was about to motion towards a balk because I believe he was very near breaking that 45-degree angle.
I was looking for that myself.
Here's the pitch. Well outside on the changeup of sorts, if not a slow curve.
Looked almost like a half-hearted pitch out.
It wouldn't be a pitch out on a curve like that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't think it, but it just almost kind of looked like it.
Here's a 2-1. Popped up in the infield. Shade headed back. This one to the second baseman. He's going to call everyone off in fair territory. That will be Osberg with the catch, just in fair territory.
Looked like he had trouble finding that in the air there. Of course, raining doesn't help his case as he's not only got to contend with finding this tiny little white thing in the sky, he's also got to contend with raindrops hitting him in the face, trying to not slip and fall on the grass. That is the impact that weather like this can have on a game today, and it almost looked like he was going to let it fall.
Here's a center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews, batting from the left-hand side.
Matthews, a .250 hitter in 4 games of action, 4 for 16, with a homer and 4 RBI to this point.
A home run came here, as it looks like De Los Santos wants to have a quick conversation here with Jason Hebner. Opening day was when Dave Matthews hit a
hit a homer into center field. It was a 2-run shot. From the set, here's the pitch. This one again trickling off the end of the bat, similar to Brian McHale's swing. The count here is 0-1. Starting to rain a little bit in Pittsfield.
It's been a bit of a steady drizzle to this point for like about the last hour and a half or so. I do know it's supposed to rain until later this afternoon.
The 0-1, this one heads over to Matt Gedman, head coach for the Pittsfield Suns. He's able to collect this one.
See Chad Shade getting itchy over there at first. Looks like he was going to try to swipe a bag.
Another pickoff motion back towards first. Diving back in this time is Shade.
See, this is probably why they wore their alternate black uniforms.
And not as much bleach needed for the white jerseys. I agree. Here's the 0-2. The runner goes. A pitch low and outside. No throw. Forget about it. Chad Shade, absolutely no doubt.
Always finding a way, even against a lefty pitcher. Great job from Chad Shade. Off with the pitch. Got a good lead. Good burst of speed there. And by the time that thing reached the catcher, as you said, Billy, forget about it.
Even if the throw was on line, no way.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's why he just chose to eat it.
The 1-2 actually hit Matthews, and it hit his elbow. So
okay, so
they're ruling Matthews to stay at home plate. It's ruled a ball that they leaned into it.
I'm quite a bit curious as to how that isn't the interpretation. It looked like he pretty clearly tried to get out of the way of it.
I think it's because he put his elbow down trying to motion and jerk himself away, but I don't agree with the call, but nonetheless, it's a 2-2 count with one man gone. Here to Dave Matthews. Check on second, the pitch. Cut on a miss for strike 3. Instead of a walk, it's a strike, or excuse me, instead of a hit by pitch, it's a strikeout for Matthews. And now here's the first baseman, number 14, Dylan Fairclough, who has an opportunity with a runner in scoring position here to get the Suns on the board.
Fairclough, a 263 hitter, 5 of 19 with a double and 4 ribbies. If you're Matthews, it's got to be awfully frustrating taking a hit like that to look like the elbow area and ultimately going down by way of the K. That is insult to injury right there.
Here is the pitch. Pop up into shallow right field. Going back as the second baseman will give way to the right fielder who collects the out, that being Stevens. So for the Suns, they do collect a walk and a stolen base, but nothing more. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base through one complete. We now head to the top of the second. No score between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. and no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Top of the second action here in Pittsfield. Catcher number 38, Miguel De Los Santos, sees the first pitch from Joey Rogers that is in there, called strike, 0-1.
De Los Santos just a 125 hitter in 2 games with 1 hit, which was simply a single.
Now the 0-1 just below the knees. Good pitch there from Rogers on the location, but just missed. Count here is 1 ball, 1 strike. Shaking off the sign now has it. Winds and deals. Bounces in. Trickles to the on-deck circle.
Seen an awful lot of those today.
Well, the wet day like today, again, you're not going to have the grip like you would on a sunny and 75 day rather than a cloudy, rainy 55 day. '57, excuse me. 2-1, cut on a miss there is Los Santos.
Well located, too. He took him high and away on that one. We haven't seen him go there really at all up to this point. So a good time to change his location.
Now the 2-2. This one chopped foul to the Suns dugout. Right over to Sheik. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Miguel De Los Santos. Shaking off the sign as Rogers now has it. Kicks and deals. This one is a full swing, check swing, and that is a strikeout here for Rogers, 2nd in a row, stemming back to last inning.
I've been very impressed by Rogers out of the gate here in the early going. He just blew Miguel De Los Santos by on that last pitch, getting the high-speed stuff rolling.
Right fielder number 31, Peyton Stevens, will now take some hacks at the dish.
Stevens, a 500 hitter, 9 of 18, leads the team in that regard. He's hit a triple and 2 doubles and driven in 3 runs.
Here's the windup for Stevens, the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell alongside Andrew Belargin here at Paul Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Top of the second, 1 gone, and there is no score. A golf swing and miss there from Stevens. And the count here now is 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, nobody has scored a run yet. There's 1 man gone. And Joey Rogers is on the mound for the Suns, who shakes off the sign. Now nods.
Almost did a little ballerina twirl on that last swing.
This one again fouled off. Count now is 1-2 here for Rogers. Getting ahead in the count once more. Rogers has been even or ahead in the count for every batter thus far. Pitches upstairs. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got him to go at it high and away earlier in the at-bat. Why not try it again with a waste pitch?
You're now the 2-2. Caught on a miss for strike 3. 3 strikeouts in a row for Rogers. And he strikes out 2 here in the inning. Bringing up the designated hitter number 13, Giacomo Branco.
Well, with De Los Santos and Stevens, strike 3 was just gearing up his fastball and blowing it past him. It is very impressive when you can get that to consistently work. If he can do that, it can be a very memorable outing today for Rogers.
Excuse me, that was Giacomo Brancato. I interrupted myself.
Brancato, a 200 hitter in 5 games, 2 for 10 with a walk.
The windup from Rogers, the pitch. Open-ended swing, shallow left field, does bloop in for a single into left field. Nothing you can really do about that. Perfect placement.
Yeah, I mean, not a particularly inspiring swing, but it didn't get much contact, but hey, hit it where they ain't.
That's true, and that's the first base hit of the ball game here now for left fielder number 6, Ethan Hunt.
Hunt currently struggling out of the gate in 4 games, recorded just 1 base hit in 12 tries, although in that base hit, he did drive in a run.
And I believe this is, if there's a strikeout with this batter here right now against Hunt, I believe everyone gets a free taco at the Pittsfield Taco Bell. Don't quote me on that. Here's the pitch. That one's in there. Called strike. Count here is 0-1.
Well, where was I when this decision was made?
Yeah, that was definitely the Taco Bell.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
So I do believe that is the case. I can't confirm it, though. Rogers checks first. Here's the 0-1. Curveball. Oh, beautiful curve. Painting the black on the inside corner. Absolutely marvelous pitch from Rogers.
A balloon ball. Just floated it right in there. Super, super, super slow, but really just freezing him up on that one.
Rogers, the 0-2. Check swing. He did not go. The pitch was up and away. Try to make him go.
I wonder if you get a free taco if he strikes them out, or
yes, I believe that's the promotion.
That would make more sense. Yes.
From the stretch is Rogers. Here's 1-2. This one fouled off of Hunt. We'll go again from 1-2.
And I'm wondering if that applies to all the fans or something, because if it does, it's a very expensive promotion.
Unless it's same day.
Still,
we can only speculate here, of course.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get some clarification on that sometime.
I want tacos too. Rogers checks over on first, has a sign, kicks and deals a 1-2, hits him. Over through the fastball. And that's going to be a hit by pitch for Hunt. Letting runners on first and second here for the number 9 hitter, shortstop, number 3, Jeremy Sagan.
Rogers has been a little bit inconsistent today, although you can probably thank the rain to some degree for a little bit of that. But he's not painting the black. He's doing things like skipping it off home plate, bouncing a million miles in the air, or, as you can see, overthrowing the fastball right there to allow another base runner. Sagan really struggling out of the gate, just a 71 batter with 1 hit in 14 tries, although that 1 hit was a 2 RBI double.
From the stretch, checking over on second, here is the first pitch. Fouled back. Count is 0-1 here to Jeremy Sagan, the number 9 hitter. Joey Rogers, there's runners on first and second, 2-man gone. This is the most that Bristol has threatened thus far. Fires. 0-1, now is 0-2 with a fastball. Another great locating pitch here from Rogers. Borrowing 1 pitch has been absolutely marvelous this inning. From the stretch, Rogers checks second twice, kicks, deals. 0-2, beautiful curveball action, and that one completely freezes Sagan.
It's already cold enough as is, but that was marvelous.
So Rogers strikes out the side for the first time this season for the Pittsfield Suns. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. We now head through 1.5 to the bottom of the second with no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the visiting Bristol Blues. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine, okay? Let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the second here, designated hitter number 6, returning Sun Alexander White in his second season with the Suns. Jason Hebner on the mound here for the Blues has the sign, and the lefty fires. And this one is outside for a ball. The count here is 1-0.
White hitting 182. That is 2 of 11 with 3 walks.
The lineup from Hebner, the pitch. A check swing, he did go. Now the count here is a ball and a strike. One. Drops in, just barely misses the lower outside corner. 2-1 is the count. With a sign, Hebner has it, deals. Fastball, that one does hit the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the second. No score between the Blues and the Suns. Shakes off the sign is Hebner. Twice. Now nods with a sign. And the 2-2 is delivered. Late swing there for White. It's foul tipped into the mid. That's a strikeout. Second for Hebner on the day.
Had to reach at that one. That one pulled away from him there, and White kind of lunged at it. Not a very good swing, especially for a 2-strike pitch.
And now here's second baseman number 8 from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, making his Pittsfield Suns debut, Drew DiMartino. Very interesting story on DiMartino. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner, was part of Isaiah Mestre's 2017 championship season with Taconic High School, went 24-1. That was Taconic High School's first ever Division I championship and first Western Mass championship since '77. It took them 40 years to get one, but they did get it. Now the 0-1 in there, called strike, now 0-2. Now his athletic eligibility is a sophomore, but because DiMartino has only started 1 semester into his college courses, he is academically a freshman. Pitch is low and outside for a ball. That's 1-2. That is because DiMartino was such a good student and athlete, a good student that he actually graduated early, and instead of graduating this year, he graduated in the winter of 2017. Pitch is outside for a ball, 2-2. He had enough credits and had the academic eligibility to go to the University of Harvard with the Hawks, and now is, again, athletically a sophomore, academically a freshman. Great story for DiMartino. And a step off, and it's even better that DiMartino is rejoining his high school teammate Isaiah Mestre and also joining his former rival Chad Shade, formerly of Pittsfield High School. So a fantastic story for the 6'8", 180-pounder sophomore out of U Hartford, as this one is lifted to right field. Going back is Stevens, and he is able to make the catch. And hard. He dropped. Oh, he dropped it on the transfer, throwing it back in. So that one still is ruled out.
Hit plenty hard, but just not quite enough carry, and it ends up just being a long fly ball.
Now here's the left fielder, number 4, Vicente Mendoza.
Mendoza is slashing just 111. That's 1 for 9 with 2 walks. He also struck out 5 times.
Here's Hebner with the first pitch. Swinging, fouled off. Count is 0-1. Next pitch, that one, good changeup. That one does clip at the knees. A called strike. Now it's 0-2.
Long hold here for Hebner. Is undecided on the pitch. Now has it. The 0-2. Drops low for a ball. He said the ball was the issue for the ball. And gets a fresh one. With the nod, Hebner has it. Here's the windup and the 1-2. Sets up outside, hits his mark. Called strike on the lower outside corner. Third strikeout for Hebner on the day. And a 1-2-3 inning for Hebner in the Blues defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We head now through 2 full to the top of the third with no score between the Blues and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Now in the top of the third between the Blues and the Suns, it'll be the top of the order. Left-handed batting second baseman Ian Osberg grounded out to short. That was his first time up here in the third. Here's Rogers with the first pitch bunting, but it's foul. Third baseman Morrison's probably going to think about extending his position and going further north, or I should say further towards home plate. Here is the pitch. Beautiful curve again from Rogers. It's been really working all day. And the count here is 0-2.
He's really getting, just in general, his movement pitches are really having a high success rate in the early going of his outing.
Now the 0-2. Swung on, fouled off. Good defensive swing. And we remain at 0-2. Here with a kick. The 0-2 delivery is fouled off right towards the netting. Scared a couple patrons there. And it just hit the protective netting. We'll go again from 0-2. Rogers shakes out the sign twice. He wants the out pitch. Here's the 0-2. Curveball. That one is fair. Trickling down the line. The tag is applied. Great athletic play by Joey Rogers.
Great athletic play indeed, because if he tried to spin it over to first, I don't think they were going to get him. That was a very bang play that he had to make himself. Did a really good job. Remember, pitchers and fielders too, of course.
A very rare one unassisted. And here's the third baseman, number 1, Alex Laparco, flew out to center to Dave Matthews his previous time up. This one foul back. Down here is 0-1. Here is the windup, the kick and the deal, the 0-1. This one headed towards the shortstop. McHale throws over to first in time.
Kind of a floaty throw there. It had a little bit of rise to it and didn't go very fast. Only got him out by about half a step. It was closer than it needed to be for sure.
First baseman number 7, Richard Brereton, walked on a 3-1 pitch. First it was 0-1, then went 4 straight balls from Rogers to Brereton. That one drops low for a ball. The count here is 1-0. Next pitch just below the knees. That one a ball, now 2-0. Now the 2-0. That one fastball drops low, now 3-0. Brereton trying to get a second free base. But he's going to have to wait at least one pitch. There's a windup, and here's the red light pitch. Drops low for a ball, second walk for Brereton. This one 4-pitch variety.
Wanting nothing to do with Brereton in particular today, is Brereton has only seen 1 strike from Rogers all day in 2 at-bats. Plate appearances, rather, and is able to advance into first freely for the second time this game. Just takes the bat right out of his hands.
Left-handed batter Connor Nolan now stepping up to the dish. Pickoff motion back towards first. Half-hearted throw. Rogers again from UMass Boston with the Beacons. Good fastball outside corner, cold strike. Down to 0-1. Rogers, runner goes, the 0-1 fastball, it's high, throw over to second is not in time.
Yeah,
bang, bang play.
Great throw on the second, great tag. If they had been about half a second earlier, I think they would have had him, but Brereton just getting a great lead off with the pitch, good speed, really, really difficult, and they don't end up getting it.
Rogers has a sign. Here is the 1-1. Cut on a miss. Big swing for Nolan as he chased that one high. Great pitch there from Rogers, and now it's in his control, 1-2. Checking second for Rogers. Twice. Kicks the 1-2. Make it 3. Swung on a miss for another strikeout for Rogers.
A good game. He's able to put that blemish behind him and strand the runner in scoring position.
5 strikeouts for Rogers already, and in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We now head to the home half of the third with no score between the Suns and the Blues. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Bottom half of the third, two men that have not gone to the plate to take some hacks yet will step up to this. The 8-9-1 batters due up. Starting off with a catcher, number 26, Josh Gurnett. And he's going to be digging in for the first time.
In 2 games, still searching for his first base hit, as he has generated 2 walks over that time.
Here's a windup. Hebner with a pitch. That is, not sure where it missed. It'll look good from here.
Looked like it hit around the upper corner of the plate.
It'll look good here. Must have missed high. I'm guessing that is. This one shaded out to center field. Going to grab this one as Nolan reaches up and collects the out.
Yeah, I think that could have done some damage, but it didn't look like Gurnett really put his all into it. Maybe he was just trying a defensive swing, follow it off. Maybe just trying to get something, but looked like he kind of put maybe 60% into that swing, and you could tell it could have been a lot louder of a crack, a lot harder of a hit ball, but it ends up just simply finding a glove in center field.
Third baseman, number 13, Brett Morrison, digging in. Here is the pitch. Holds off on the first pitch. It's in there. Called strike, 0-1.
Morrison's played in 1 game to this point, went 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
And now the 0-1, swung on foul back and heads up. That one going foul ball, and that one's going to sit in a puddle and soak up for the day. Suns crowd again behind the Suns here at a matinee day. And the 0-2. Swung on yet again, fouled off, and yet again we'll go from 0-2. Ray, the Suns mascot, is currently out roaming the stands.
Needs some kind of sun because the sun has been missing for about 2 days now. It's just been clouds and dark skies.
The 0-2, guess what? It's fouled off again, same area. Here is the 0-2. Just misses the outside corner. Maybe a tad low as well. So it's a ball and a strike. Good hold up here for Morrison. Collecting a lot of pitches here.
An interesting hold up there. That one was close enough where I was surprised he didn't take a defensive hack at it.
The 1-2. Make it 3. Swung on a miss for strike 3.
Took him out of the zone there on that one. Went high looking for a pop-up, and Morrison gave him one more by just striking on the spot. That was not a particularly good swing, but in kind of a defensive mode there with a 1-2 count, trying to work it up to something more favorable. Morrison, not the best of swings there, and he ends up going down by way of the K.
Right fielder number 18, Chad Shea, the leadoff hitter, walked in Stolabag his last time up. Here is Hebner with the first pitch. Breaking ball that looks like a curve, and that one clips the lower outside corner. Called strike, 0-1. As both starters here for the Suns have combined 9 strikeouts here in nearly 3 complete innings. Late swing there for Shady. Missed that one, triggering middle in. It went down and away.
And in an environment like this with wet grass and a little bit of rain, it really helps to take matters into your own hands and not force potential error mentally, and of course, literally and figuratively from your defense. So that really helps your own cause.
Hebner shakes off a sign. Shakes off another. He wants the out pitch. Shakes a third. Now nods. He only has one pitch in mind. Here's the 0-2. Went fastball, and he got his pitch. Both starters have a combined 10 strikeouts, each with 5, and a strikeout here for Shea. So 1-2-3 inning for the Blues defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We now head through 3 complete innings of baseball. We now head to the top of the 4th. With currently no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Bristol Blues. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality. So it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school. And if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Back to live action underneath the third baseman's glove, throw to first from the shortstop, and he is safe. Going to be a very interesting call for that. Find out in just a second for Miguel De Los Santos. No matter what, he's on first.
Shaking off the catcher's legs and a bit of a bulldog sprint down to first. And already the Bristol Blues are threatening.
Going to wait for official ruling as here is Peyton Stevens. First a pickoff motion back over to first. Another pickoff motion over towards first. Here is the pitch. That one swung on and missed there from Stevens for the first pitch. Count here is 0-1. At least for right now, this may change, but at least for right now, it has been ruled an error, E5. It's one underneath off the glove there of the third baseman, Morrison. Now the 0-1. That one fouled off. Now the count here is 0-2. Nobody gone, man on first. Leading off first is Miguel De Los Santos with a modest lead. Pickoff throw back towards first again. 3 pickup throws to a catcher sitting on first. Rogers has the sign. It's an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. This one fouled off into the dugout of the Suns. Bounces in and out, that is. And once more, we'll go to an 0-2 count. Rogers sets from the stretch. Checks on first. Delivers. Popped up in the infield. And Morrison will collect the out.
Really jammed him in badly on that one. The swing itself wasn't even all that hard. Doesn't get too much airtime. It certainly doesn't carry far. Ends up being an easy first out.
Designated hitter number 13, Giacomo Brancato, singled on the first pitch for the first hit of the ball game that went into left field.
To this point, that's actually the only hit of the ball game. Officially, that is.
Runner does go. Here's a pitch. It is low for a ball. The throw but a second is not in time. The throw was offline, and a rare stolen base for the catcher.
Yeah, definitely shaking off the catcher's legs there. The throw was also kind of slow. It was offline. They could have probably got him if one of those wasn't the case, but I don't think they expected a catcher to steal a bag on him. And using the element of surprise, there is Miguel de los Santos.
Runner on second now in the catcher. Here's the 1-0. Drops low. Good block there from Gernak. Count is 2-0. This one slapped, headed towards short. No throw to third. A throw over to first is in time. And De Los Santos is down. He went hard into third, going head first. He called time. It's a 6-3 putout, but De Los Santos is down.
I was actually looking under the first pitch. I could see the throw would be on the line. I didn't quite see what happened, but I certainly hope that he's okay.
Very slow to get up. I was, from McHale, expecting the throw to go to third, but a dive from De Los Santos goes into third. Now back up and standing. Not sure what went wrong there for De Los Santos.
Looks as if right now he's going to be okay. Putting the helmet back on. He's just taking a moment to walk it off. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Here is the pitch from Rogers. Late swing on a curveball and a beauty to Ethan Hunt there from Joey Rogers. Count is 0-1. Two men gone, but there was a runner on third.
Came in on him really tight, like almost underneath his elbows. I have no idea why Ethan Hunt is trying to swing at that pitch.
Now the 0-1. This one, another curve. This one drops too far low, however. That'll even things up at 1-1. Electing for a new ball, it appears. Ethan Hunt awaits the next pitch. It's a 1-1 count. Rogers hurls. That one, fastball drops low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Couple games going around the FCBL. The Brockton Rocks and Worcester Bravehearts 2 apiece, tied at the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 3rd in Nashua. The Martha's Vineyard Sharks lead the Silver Knights 4-0.
Rogers kicks and delivers to 2-1. Again, drops low. And the count here is now 3-1. Rogers sets from the stretch. Here's the 3-1. This is in and low, and that'll be a walk here for Hunt. So he has 2 walks right now, one the hit by pitch variety. That is the 3rd base on balls, 4th walk overall from Rogers, but 5 strikeouts on the day. One of those who fell victim to those, and the only called strike 3 is here. The man on the dish right now, the shortstop, number 3, Jeremy Sagan, on 3 pitches. Rogers with the pitch. This one a hot shot headed towards short. Easy play over at second for the fielder's choice to end the inning. So in the inning, there's a runner 90 feet away, but the Blues can't do anything with it. And in the inning, no runs off no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We now head to the bottom of the 4th through 3.5. No score between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 4th action here at Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It's a game between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. 3rd meeting overall here already. In day 7 of the FCBL season. Going to start off with the 2-3-4 batters here in the 4th. McHale, Matthews, and Faircloth. Brian McHale, the shortstop, popped out to second base, just in fair territory behind first base his last time up. Looking to get a little offense going here. Here is the pitch. That just misses high over the plate, 1-0. A 1-0 high fly ball. Back there is Nolan, who reaches up and collects the out.
Well hit balls again and again and again, but I have to think that the atmosphere here has something to do with it because these are just not carrying. Again, it also kind of happens here at Wahconah Park.
That makes it double digits for men retired in a row for Hebner. Here's the center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews. He struck out swinging his first time up.
They're having a very solid start to this outing today.
Here's the pitch, well outside. And the count starts with a 1-0 set. Here's a lefty with a 1-0. That one does catch the outside corner. Here's Hebner with the 1-1. Swung on and slipping on the swing there is Matthews. He was holding onto his back. Trying to stretch that one out as well.
Looks like he might have tweaked something as well.
It appears he's okay. Here is the 1-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3 on a changeup in. And that is another strikeout for Hebner, 6 on the day.
And up and down the lineup, no one has been able to figure out Hebner yet. He's been throwing absolute fire today. The thing is, he hasn't been particularly overpowering. His locations up has been good, not great, but it just has been in the right place at the right time. It's been very opportunistic, and it's been working to amazing effect here in the early going.
First baseman number 14, Dylan Fairclough, flew out to right field last time up as he pushed it to opposite field. Here's Hebner with the first pitch. Holding off on the swing there is Fairclough in for good reason. This one drops low below the knees for a ball, 1-0. High fly ball going into left field. Chasing this one is Hunt, and he collects that one to end the inning. So in the inning, it's another 1-2-3 inning, third inning in a row for the Suns. Should say the Blues defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Through 4 full innings, there's no score between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Ian Osberg, the leadoff hitter, leading off here in the 5th. That one's fouled off. First base side. Very loud crowd here in Pittsfield here for the matinee game between the Pittsfield Suns and the visiting Bristol Blues.
And they have been treated to an incredible pitcher's duel here in the early going.
There's the 0-1. That one a check swing. And he does not go. Pitches upstairs. Count here is now a ball and a strike.
Bristol Blues have poked and prodded a little bit at Joey Rogers, but neither team has really mounted a serious offensive against one another.
The 1-1, big swing and miss as Osberg swings through the pitch. Good pitch low, making them chase. Count is 1-2 for Rogers. Here's a windup and the 1-2. Curveball, this one fouled off left field side. Going to chase is the left fielder, Mendoza. He will run out of room. And we will go once more from a 1-2 count.
A surprising amount of carry and airtime wasn't really hit all that hard.
Rogers with the pitch. Yet again fouled out. Oh, boy. Just past the head of Brandon Shalikas and Matt Gedman. Goes right by their head. Excuse me, that is Kevin Donati, the bench coach. Somehow, some way, they got out of the way in time. 1-2. Bounces in. And it looks like some dirt got kicked up there. It'll be a 2-2 count. With the windup, Rogers with a 2-2. Swung on an high and inside pitch, and it's fouled off once more. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat.
And if you look at the Bristol Blues stat line, 1 base hit, and with a swing like that here in the 5th inning, I'm not surprised. That may have been the silliest swing I've seen today.
Excuse me, 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming, and now it's 9 as the pitch is high and away. It's a full count, 3-2.
Like, kind of lifted the bat, almost separated his hands on it and just jabbed the bat at the ball. I don't know what he was expecting to do with that.
Payoff is foul tipped off of the mid of the catcher, and we have double digits in an at-bat.
Rogers hit 75 pitches, so he should be good to at least make it through this inning.
3-2 over the head of the shortstop, dunks into left field for only the 2nd base hit for the Bristol Blues today.
And an impressive adjustment on his end after being made to look completely silly just a few pitches before. Really just gets underneath this thing and jets into the outfield to finally give the Bristol Blues another base hit.
So Vosberg, highly doubtful that he is going to get 5 base hits like he did on the 1st of June, tying an FCBL record, but he does get his first today. Here now for third baseman number 1, Alex Laparco, who's 0 for 2, a fly out to center, ground out to short in the 1st and 3rd, respectively.
It was the team's first base hit in general since the 2nd inning.
Here is the pitch. Good pitch there with a 2-seam fastball. It's in there, called strike, 0-1. Here now the 0-1. Just missed low with the pitch. A ball and a strike. Rogers having a steady command on the mound here today. So 1-1 count. He has a sign. Pick up motion back towards first. Did they get him? No. Very, very close.
It looked like it was sort of a half-hearted attempt. If he had, seriously thrown it on the first, they might have had him out. Almost caught him napping over there.
Next pitch. That one looks like it's a bit too high. Now it's 2-1. Runner goes to 2-1, is swung on, hit towards second. Diving stop as the second baseman throw over to first, throws it away. Both runners will advance.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate sequence of events. Even if this throw was perfect, they were not going to get him at first. Really should have just ate his hat on that one. I would imagine there's some type of E4 of some sort that's going to factor into that play, but of course I'll wait until we hear more about that.
Here comes Brandon Shalikas to talk things over. It will be a single and also a throwing error on the second baseman, DiMartino.
couple base hits in the inning along with that error. Joey Rogers in a little bit of trouble here. With no outs on the board and a couple runners in scoring position.
There's runners on second and third with nobody gone here, so the Blues really threatening here. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Mato alongside Andrew Belargin here at Paul Dowd Field at Wahconah Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. No score between the Blues and the Suns. A pitcher's duel, but now the offense is finally threatening here in the top of the fifth. Runners on second and third. Nobody gone here for Richard Brereton, who has walked twice. First pitch, swinging. This one going towards third. Will they test it at home? They will not. Only one play to make. Throw over to first is in time, but a run scores an RBI ground out for Brereton. It's 1-0 Blues.
And finally, the opening salvo of the contest comes on an RBI ground out.
And so bring up Connor Nolan now. Here's the pitch as the infield is in. Past the diving glove of DiMartino, an RBI single for Connor Nolan on the first pitch, 2-0 Blues.
Well, of course, these very same Blues had issues with runners in scoring position the last time they were here, and the Suns, for the most part, kept Worcester at bay with runners in scoring position last night, despite the loss, but no such luck tonight. The Blues finally cashed in on a couple runners in scoring position to take a minor lead. Fortunate as Rogers has been pitching nearly flawlessly up until this inning, but has run into a little bit of trouble, and now the Suns are in a hole.
All right, here's the catcher, Miguel De Los Santos. First pitch, swung on and missed from De Los Santos. Count here is 0-1.
Swing made it look like the bat weighed 50 pounds on that one or something. Lugging that thing around like a big club. Not going to do anything with a swing like that.
Rogers with the pitch. Holding off. This gets away from the catcher. It's in the dirt. No throw over to second. That'll be a wild pitch. Advancing Connor Nolan.
We've seen that happen, I think, nearly half a dozen times at this point in the ball game, but only then does it really come back to hurt. Of course, now you can't really look for a ground ball pitch to end the inning. And of course, there's a runner in scoring position.
Now the 1-1 is a step off, pick off towards second, no throw. Rogers with the 1-1. That's low and inside for a ball. 2-1 is the count here for Rogers, who has had a spectacular day on the mound. Only now is it starting to come up against him. Two singles, a throwing error, and then another single as well. 2-1. High fly ball, first base side out of play. Now it's even up at 2-2.
You feel bad for Rogers because, you know, baseball is a long game and things happen. He kept the Blues off the board for 4 innings. Now he's given up the only 2 runs of the game here in the 5th, and the Suns' offense has been a little bit hapless today. So we hope that he ends up at least being able to walk away with a no decision of some sort for a pretty solid effort.
Time is called here by Miguel De Los Santos at home plate.
We're going to look at Rogers' line. He's at 86 pitches right now, so he has to get out of the inning quick if he wants to come out for the 6th.
2-2. It's a breaking ball that's high for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes to De Los Santos. So the 88th pitch. He needs a double play somehow with this next pitch if he wants to come out for the next inning. This one, a hot shot past the diving third baseman. They're going to round the runner as it goes into left field. And coming in to score is going to be Connor Nolan.
An RBI rip shot single down the third base line for Miguel De Los Santos, and tack on another. It's 3-0 Blues.
The Blues certainly seem to have gotten past their runners in scoring position woes, and all of a sudden, 3-0 with only one away. You wonder if Rogers is going to have the stuff to be able to even finish the inning.
Right fielder number 31, Peyton Stevens, now digging in. Rogers with the pitch. Fastball that's low and in. We'll bring the count here to 1-0.
It just doesn't have the same zip on it that it did when he began the game. You have to wonder if Rogers is fatiguing on the mound. Of course, you have to remember his first appearance of the season was out of the bullpen. So you wonder if he's stretched out enough to continue going on.
The 1-0, a check swing. Did he go? He did not on a bluff throw over to first for a pickoff attempt. Count now is 2-0. I'm not mistaken, I just saw Isaiah Mestre warm up in the pen. Opening day starter for the Suns. Looks like they're trying to get him some action. And yes, it is Mestre. Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss for strike one. Stevens well behind the pitch.
Well, with Rogers ineligible to come back in next inning, they're going to need someone to take over. And looks like Mestre is getting tabbed for it.
Here's a 2-1. Yes, he did go with a check swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a man gone. 3 runs in thus far. Shake of the sign from Rogers now has it. Runner on first. De Los Santos fouled off first base side out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 5th.
There's at 93 pitches right now. With only 1 away. You hope he can at least finish the inning.
Rogers sets from the stretch. Kicks in the 2-2. Good block there from Gurnak as this one dropped low on a changeup. Now it's full 3-2. A ground ball can get you out of it.
Earlier in the inning, Osberg ate up a ton of pitches from Rogers, and Stevens is being a bit of a nuisance as well after Miguel De Los Santos took a lot of pitches himself. It's been a really trying inning for Joey Rogers. Never mind the earned runs. He's had to really work to get these outs.
Payoff pitch. High and away, that'll walk him. And here comes Gedman. I believe that will do it. And that will do it there for Rogers, who started off hot, but this inning started to cool things off once he ate a lot of pitches against Ian Osberg, as Andrew previously mentioned. So we'll be right back, but right now there's runners on first and second. 1 man gone. Blues lead it by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
New pitcher in the ball game to try to stop the bleeding for the Suns, and it is opening day starter number 11 Isaiah Mestre. Mestre, as of course I just mentioned, started one game opening day, and in that game against the Brockton Rox, called 5 innings, yielded 4 hits, 2 earned runs on 2 walks, and struck out 5, and received a winning decision on that day, good for a 3.60 ERA. And while Joey Rogers is responsible for the 2 runners on base right now, other than that, that will do it for Rogers, who could not quite make it 5 innings. Made it 4 1/3 innings, facing 24 batters. So far, giving up 3 earned runs, 5 hits while walking 4. Plunked the batter and threw a wild pitch and striking out 5. And threw 95 pitches, currently slated to receive the loss.
Runners on first and second is De Los Santos sitting at second. Stevens on first. Here's Giacomo Brancato, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 2. Mestre kicks and deals the first pitch. Is in there on the lower outside corner. Cold strike 0-1. I believe this is the first time this has ever happened where 3 men from Pittsfield, Massachusetts on the same field at an FCBL game. Here's the 0-1. Beautiful breaking ball action there from Mestre. The count here is now 0-2. Talking about you have Chad Shaden right, Drew DiMartino at second, and Isaiah Mestre, DiMartino's teammate in high school, on the mound.
Some hometown representation.
Check on second, twice for Mestre. Now the pitch. 0-2, swung on a miss. Strike 3. What a breaking ball from Mestre.
Beautiful stuff right there. Puts down, at least gets the Blues into territory where an out ends the inning.
And now here's the left fielder, number 6, Ethan Hunt. He's walked twice, one via hit by pitch. And if Hunt reaches safely, the Blues would have batted around. Mestre with a sign. Lifts and deals. That one drops low in a fastball. Count here now 1-0. Mestre has a sign. Kicks and deals the 1-0. That one is low and outside for a ball, now 2-0. Again, the 3 men from Pittsfield know each other very well. For Mestre and DiMartino, champions at Taconic High School in 2017, a 24-1 record. And then Chad Shade, rival of both, now teammates, as this one is a one-hopper. Oh, and it gets DiMartino up high off an awkward hop. They're going to round the runner. And 1 run is going to score.
That was an unfortunate sequence of events right there. Looked somewhat routine, although it did have a bounce towards the end that, of course, caused DiMartino to lose it. Not really sure what this is going to be ruled, but either way, the Blues do extend their lead to 4-0.
It's going to be ruled a hit.
Okay, it did. I was going to say it looked like it would be ruled a base hit. That run will be attributed to Joey Rogers' line, not Isaiah Mestre's.
So an RBI single for Ethan Hunt. Blues bat around, and it is now 4-0 Blues. And there's runners on the corners. There's Jeremy Sagan. Strikeout looking and fielder's choice as well. Swinging at the first pitch. This one missing. Count here is 0-1.
Some zip behind that swing as well. Really looking to do some damage and put a twisted number on that scoreboard.
A runner on first goes as this one, a hit and run, is foiled with a foul ball. Now no balls, 2 strikes. Mestre checking first. Now sets from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Foul back again. And we'll go now once more to a 0-2 count. Mestre taking some time to look at Ethan Hunt over on first before the pitch. Now having the sign is Mestre. Runner on first goes again. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will end the inning. 9 batters come to the plate. 4 runs off of 5 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. Through 4.5, we head to the bottom of the 5th. 4 runs come in the 5th, and now it is 4-0. Blues lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There is no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Bottom of the 5th action, Alexander White due up, and the first pitch to him is upstairs for a ball. Count here is 1-0. Jason Hebner still on the mound. Here now in the bottom of the 5th inning, as the second pitch is outside as well. Now it's 2-0. Here is a windup for Hebner and the pitch. Hot shot, and that will dunk in for a base hit. And the Suns finally get a base hit here now in the top, or I should say, bottom of the 5th.
Well, Hebner having to sit down for a long period of time as his team finally got the bats going against Joey Rogers and the Suns defense. And he finally lets a crack in the whole show there as he gives up his first base hit of the outing.
13 batters faced, 1 walk, no runs. And now against batter number 14, I want to single right up the middle to center field. Here's the second baseman, number 8, Drew DiMartino. He flew out to right field his last time up. Here's the pitch. Swinging that one foul. Count here 0-1.
Hebner had an extremely efficient 52 pitches to this point in the 5th inning, so he's still got plenty of mileage left in him.
And I think only one of those at-bats and plate appearances was a 1-pitch out. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball does clip the inside corner, says home plate umpire Dustin Stetson.
That one was a real beauty there. Just locked him right up on the inside.
Check on first twice, and now the 0-2. Past the pitcher. No, he gloves it. Throw over to second for one. Over to first is not in time.
Good play getting the lead runner at second. Almost turning the double play there, but just a step too quick for that is DiMartino.
So 1-4 on the fielder's choice. DiMartino reaches first base for the first time in his Pittsfield Suns career. And he replaces White on first. Here's left fielder number 4, Vicente Mendoza. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking on an 0-1 pitch. 1-2 pitch. That one gets away from the catcher, but no running there from DiMartino. Realized he should as he claps his hands. Over an hour and a half into tonight's contest. Should say today, rather. So used to saying tonight. Back on motion over towards first. Back in safely is DiMartino. The lefty Hebner has a sign. Moderate lead there for DiMartino. The pitch is high and away. And now it's 2-0.
The only good things about the weather the way it is absolutely zero threat of a sun delay.
Especially this early in the day as well.
Yes, early enough in the day.
Snap throw over to first. Back in safely is DiMartino. Here is the pitch. Inside corner on the fastball, called strike to Mendoza. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 man gone. And a man on first, that being Drew DiMartino. Here's the pitch, well inside, kicks up some dirt as well, 3-1. Hebner, 3-1. Outside, and that'll be a walk, a rare one. The first one since Chad Shea to begin the first inning. So things it looks like starting to waver here for Hebner as well. Again, having to sit down for a long period of time. On top of that, a lot of pitches thrown, and it's a cold day in Pittsfield.
Very, very cold as we have a pretty steady breeze coming through us. That just at all times up here in the press box can't be any better if you're trying to warm up and perform in a game.
Catcher number 26, Josh Gernak, flew out to center field his only time up thus far. He's 0 for 1. Runners on first and second here. And here's the pitch. Big cut and miss from Gernak. And the count is 0-1. Hebner with the 0-1, slap foul over towards Gedman. Snare grab there from the former infielder.
Just tosses it casually behind him.
We got Matt Gedman, son of Rich Gedman, longtime catcher for the Boston Red Sox in the 80s. Was an infielder in his playing career, reached as high as AA with the Portland Sea Dogs in the Red Sox organization. Here's the 0-2. Swung on over the head of the first baseman. That one's going to go into right field, and they're going to wave him around. No, they're going to hold him up. So now the bases are loaded. He would have been gunned down by Stevens out and right. A single by Josh Gernak in right field. And now here's their baseman, number 13, Brett Morrison, with only 1 gone. The bases are loaded.
He just stabbed at that thing. A bit of a half-hearted, very light swing, but somehow able to turn something productive of it to load the bases.
Time is called by Miguel De Los Santos. No Ronnie Palmer, no Jordy Shiner either, that being the head coach and pitching coach respectively. But De Los Santos, veteran presence out there, going out to talk with Hebner.
They're having a really solid outing so far. Still has yet to give up a run. Well, kind of unraveling there on the mound.
Here is the pitch. Swung on, just fouled off. Down here is 0-1. Brett Morrison, two-sport athlete at at Hopkins Academy. He was a 1,000-point scorer and all-Connecticut player. Morrison, a true ready, 6'1", 175 pounds, soon-to-be junior at Fairfield University with the Stags. Here's the 0-1, waving at this one on the changeup and missing. Count here now 0-2.
What was he trying to accomplish with a swing like that? Like he kind of just fell forward, lunged at it a little bit. I guess he was trying to foul it off, but that was an ugly swing. Not going to do anything with that.
Having the sign is Hebner. Long hold. Here's the 0-2. Try to set up outside corner, but missed high. A ball, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. So the tying run is at home plate currently. DiMartino on third, Mendoza on second, Gurnak on first. Here's a 1-2. Inside, nearly hit him and scored a run off that. Instead, it's a 2-2 count, which with only one man gone. The 2-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Morrison goes down swinging.
Unfortunate sequence of events right there. And again, a pretty ugly swing. He just kind of threw some bat at that ball there. Even if he didn't make contact, that's probably just a high pop out. So really nothing doing with a swing like that.
And here's a very interesting situation now. This is what Chris Barbarata, hitting coach for the Suns, was talking about a few days ago, clutch hitting. Well, he couldn't get any more clutch than this, really. Bottom of the 5th, you're down by 4. You represent the tying run with 2 men gone, and the bases are loaded in your own hometown. Here's Chad Shane. He's 0 for 1. As this one's a high fly ball going in deep to left. Hunt is going back. He will reach up near the warning track and somehow able to make the catch. Hunt somehow able to track that one down and collect the out. So it goes all for naught for the Suns. No runs off 2 hits, no errors. The bases are left loaded. We now head through 5-fold to the top of the 6th. It's a 4-0 lead for the Blues. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
First pitch of the top of the sixth from Isaiah Mestre is a fastball that dips too far low for a ball. To second baseman number 5, Ian Osberg. Count is 1-0. Osberg 1 for 3 on the day. And the 1-0 is fouled back. That one, that was swung on and missed. He did go around, and that one is a swinging strike. Count is now 2-1. There's a windup from Mestre. Now the 2-1. Just misses the outside corner. Now 3-1. Again, a very chilly day. The rain has subsided, at least for the interim. But a chilly 57-degree day with the wind. Yes, around, I would say, about 5-10 miles an hour. 2-2 is fouled off.
Enjoying your hoodie over there, Billy?
Very much.
Yeah, in hindsight, showing up to a morning game, given the weather we had yesterday with my short sleeve sun shirt, probably not a good idea.
The 2-2 is golfed out, headed towards third and short. Third baseman there has it. Throws over to first. Morrison with a putout. Assisted putout, rather. It's a 5-3. Assisted putout to Fairclough. And now here's the third baseman, number 1, Alex Laparco. He's also 1 for 3 with a run scored. Mestre with the first pitch. Breaking ball just misses the lower outside corner. Now the 1-0. That one outside. No, it was ruled a strike on the outside corner. It's ruled. Pitch look outside to me, but nonetheless, that's a called strike. For the sign, Mestre delivers the 1-1. Hot shot foul, third base side off the netting.
Up to that point, we had quite a number of ones. Number 11 pitching to number 1 with a 1-1 count and 1 away. Don't see that too often.
Now the 1-2 swung on and missed, and that'll go down for strike 3. Third strikeout. And an inning and a third here for Mestre.
They're looking crisp coming out of the bullpen. Gave up a run on an inherited runner last inning, but beyond that, he's been very, very smooth.
First baseman, Richard Brereton. 2 walks and an RBI ground out. He also has a stolen base to his credit as well. Mestre with the pitch. Flashing bunt, doesn't matter, pulls it back as he tried to throw a pitch that would have been a ball. But it's in there, called strike 0-1 on a breaking ball. There's the 0-1. Same pitch, but this one more in the inner half. Called strike 2. And now it's 0-2.
Interesting decision to make that pitch after he flashes bunt.
Mestre, the 0-2. Swung on, foul back. The 0-2, well inside, and now it's 1-2 as the rain has started to pick up again. More of a slight drizzle.
About 12:30, so we've been expecting this for about the next 2 or so hours. Of course, we were also expecting a high of 64, and I don't really know that we've seen that today.
It's a foul ball, will remain at 1-2. Mestre, slow wind up, the 1-2. Waving at this one, and it's dropped by the catcher. It's going to have to scamper, throw over to first. Is not in time. It's going to be a strikeout, wild pitch for Brereton reaching first base. The fourth strikeout for Mestre, however, he does not get the out.
And of course, with the light drizzle, that makes the ball a little bit wet, and that causes things like this to happen. The ball skips away, and it's just a moment too soon. It allows Brereton to preserve the inning.
Center fielder number 8, Connor Nolan, batting from the left side. He is 1 for 3, an RBI single, run scored, 2 strikeouts. The pitch is in there. A called strike, throw over to second is not in time. Goes out to center field, but not nearly deep enough. And that is another stolen base for Brereton.
Brereton turning on the wheels once again. His second stolen base of the game, and wasting no time in that one as he's off with the first pitch.
Mestre awaiting the sign. The time is called. Here is the 0-1. Beautiful breaking ball pitch there from Mestre. That's in there, a called strike, now 0-2. Some activity in the bullpen here for Bristol, it appears. Right-handed hurler, I believe that's number 17. Can't quite see from here. Mestre has a sign, the 0-2. Good block from Gernak. Count now 1-2. Umpires confirming the count. 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 men gone, man on second. 1-2 count to Connor Nolan. Mestre has a sign, deals. A check swing. Did he go? He did not, so that means that there was no foul tip. That is a ball. And a wild pitch. And it's in the third is Brereton.
A couple wild pitches and a stolen base. Almost handing the Blues another run.
We have 2-2 count. We had 2 men gone. This one fouled off, no doubt about that one. It will remain at 2-2. Now a step off here.
Bottom of the 8th action, Worcester, the Rocks lead the Bravehearts 4-2. Bottom of the 6th in Nashua, the Silverheads trail the Martha's Vineyard Sharks 6-2.
Now the 2-2. This one headed over to the shortstop, McHale, who gloves. Fires, high throw, but it's still in there in time. So that will end the inning. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base, 90 feet away at third base. Heading now through 5.5 to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-0. Bristol leads it. New pitcher in the ball game for the Blues, and that will end the night for Hebner. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
New pitch in the ballgame for the Bristol Blues, looking to hold the line on their 4-run lead. For 17, Mark Silvestri. Silvestri is getting set to make his third appearance out of the pen for the Blues this season. At this point, has thrown 3 innings, yielding 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, with a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. Has received both a winning and a losing decision en route to a 3.0 ERA. And on that note, that will do it for the starter Jason Hebner. Inexplicably removed after just 68 pitches. Crawled 5 innings, faced 19 batters, no runs, 2 hits, and a couple walks with 7 strikeouts. Is currently in line to receive the win.
It'll be the 2-3-4 batters, Mikhail Matthews Faircloth. For Mikhail, 0 for 2 start, pop out to second, and a fly out to center. There's Silvestre with the first pitch. It's fouled off. Goes right back to the backstop, and it's 0-1. Silvestre works exclusively from the stretch. Here is the 0-1. That one bounces in. And now it's even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Silvestre, the 1-1. Overthrown again. This one also in the dirt now. 2-1. With a big power delivery coming overhand. With him cocking back the way he is. If he does miss, even if it's a split second, it is overthrown. 2-1. Ripped down the third base line. It's a fair ball backhanded by Laparco. Throw over to first in time.
What a beautiful defensive play. Stopping it going down the line and throwing it perfectly onto first. Saving a base runner and getting him gunned down at first. Beautiful.
Now here's center fielder number 20, Dave Matthews. He's got 2 strikeouts. One of them he thought was a hit by pitch. He was brought back. Very next pitch, he's down by way the case swinging. So he's got 2 strikeouts. Silvestre with the first pitch. That one's in there. A cold strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1, this one ripped foul. And Faircloth will not have a chance to get that one as it had a lot of English on it, put it way up in the air, and he was about to go catch it. Decided not to. Here's the 0-2. That one slipped out of the hand there.
Rain has nearly died down, just a very light drizzle right now.
The 1-2 count here from Silvestre over to Matthews. Silvestre sets from the stretch. Again, it works exclusively there. Here's the 1-2. Swung on foul back onto the concourse. Silvestre, 1-2. High for a ball now, 2-2. Shaking up the sign now, going through the motion once more. They have their pitch. Silvestre with the 2-2. And one high for a ball. Now it's full 3-2. Here to Matthews. One man gone, bottom of the sixth. 4-0 Blues lead it here in the bottom of the sixth. Payoff. Outside and away, and that will be a walk for Matthews.
And a great job fighting back. He fell down early and worked the count back to his favor. Able to draw the full pitch walk.
Faircloth has a couple of flyouts to the outfield, one right, one left, that's in the first and fourth, respectively. Matthews already has a very large lead over at first. This one popped foul behind home plate. Count here now 0-1. The 0-1, no snap throw to first as the pitch was well high. The ball a strike, a man on, a man gone. Ace is wild here. One is high and in. Silvestre awaits the sign. And the pitch. High again for a ball. The count here now is 3-1. Back-to-back pitches that really missed up. And now down from 0-1. It's now 3-1 for Faircloth.
Faircloth hasn't even really had to try either. None of these have been anywhere close.
Here's the 3-1. High for another ball and another walk given up by Silvestre. And here comes Jordy Shiner, the pitching coach. Not really surprised at this method. Late in the game, they don't want the Suns to get a rally. It will be the DH number 6, Alexander White, due up. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. So not really much else other than just a brief talk after a ground out, then back-to-back walks Getting a lot of pitches out of Dave Matthews as well as Fairclough. 5 pitches for Fairclough. 7 out of Matthews. Shakes off the sign. Now with a nod, here's Silvestri. With the pitch. Once again, it is high. 1-0 here to Alex White. And more than likely with this now, especially with the amount of balls being thrown, not only in this inning alone, but with the amount of balls being thrown to him, it's very sporadic. A lot of the pitches are up. I'd assume he would wait for a strike, but he does not. It's fouled off behind home plate. So a ball, a strike, a man gone, 2 men on, and here's the pitch. Check swing, he does not go as this one is once again high. 2-1. Silvestri with the 2-1. Low and away, just barely missed the corner. He can't believe it. Now it's 3-1. Silvestri's 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded. Now the 3-1. That one is in there, a called strike. It'll be a full count to Alexander White. Already 21 pitches here for Silvestri. Full count, 3-2, runner goes as this one's lifted out to right. Matthews was off with a pitch. He'll have to scamper on back. So it'll be a fly out to right for White, and now here's the second baseman, DiMartino. Suns running out of time here to get some runs aboard. It's a 4-0 ball game between the Blues and the Suns. Suns only have 2 hits. So the Blues 6. Pitch, well up and in. That one's going to back off DiMartino. Just now over 2 hours of playtime. Here's the 1-0. Outside corner. That one's in there. A called strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of balls thrown here from Silvestri. A lot of pitches. And if he throws 30 or more in 1 inning, he will not qualify for the next. He's thrown 24 thus far. 14 of them balls. That one does catch the inner half of the count. It's now 1-2. Silvestri with the sign. There's 1-2. Swung on in between third and short. Glove there by the third baseman, Leparco. Throw over to second for the easier out, and that is a force out, 5-4 to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. Through 6 full, we head to the the last third of the ball game. Top of the 7th upcoming. 4-0 Blues lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? radio. Only 150 million people. That's all.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Top of the seventh, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 batters due up this inning, that being De Los Santos, Stevens, and Wahconah. Suns, they are running out of time to get some runs across. It's 4-0 Bristol. They lead it. There's 4 runs coming in the 5th. First pitch here from Mestre. Fouled back, right back to the netting, nearly near our crowd mic.
Meanwhile, Mestre here having a very quietly impressive performance out of the bullpen following a successful opening day start.
That one big cut and miss from De Los Santos. Now it's 0-2. An inning and 2/3 total right now for Mestre. And 4 strikeouts. Now the 0-2. That one, good unnecessary block there from Gurnak. It's going to take some extra time to get up, however. Pitch is outside and low. A ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th. Mestre awaits the sign. Time called here by De Los Santos. A lot of time here from Mestre.
Well, Billy, the rain has been on and off today, but the cold and the wind to some extent certainly have been full on.
The pitch, beautiful breaking ball, called strike 3 on the outside corner, and painting the black there as well. Another strikeout for Mestre.
Speaking of wind, he just blows that one right past him on that pitch. Beautiful.
In an inning and 2/3 now complete here for Mestre. 5 strikeouts. Peyton Stevens is 0 for 2 with a walk. Also has a strikeout as that one is in there for a cold strike. 0-1 is the count to the right fielder, Stevens. That one is fouled off of Stevens. And now the count is 0-2. Mestre with the 0-2. Just missed the outside corner.
A good waist pitch, though. Put some speed on that thing and tried to hit it around the outside corner.
And the 1-2. Hot shot, that's 2-1 to McHale at short. Gloves. Throws over to first in time for the second out of the inning.
Doing a really good job holding up his end coming out of the pen. The tandem of him and Joey Rogers need some run support from their son's offense.
Designated hitter number 13, Giacomo Wahconah, He's 1 for 3 on the day. Struck out his last time up in the 5th. And that was the first man that Mestre faced. So this is the second time through the order for Mestre, as a big cut and miss there from Wahconah. Swings and misses on a breaking ball. And the count is 0-1.
Hole was in his bat right there as he just hacked on that thing and missed. no idea where Messer's going to start that at bat, and it works out well for him.
Now the 0-1 check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says bases umpire Andrew Gerard. The correct call. And now it is 0-2. And the pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3. That is how you do it. 1, 2, 3. Of which, that's how the inning went as well. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Don Mestre doing a phenomenal job in relief. We now head through stretch time. 4-0. Blues lead it. We'll listen in to Take Me Out to the Ball Game here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. The Blues lead it 4-0.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 7th, left fielder number 4, Vicente Mendoza. He is 0-for-1 with a strikeout looking, but also a walk to his credit. Back out there for second inning of work, Mark Silvestri. And the first pitch is low and outside. For a ball, the count here is 1-0.
We're really struggling with his command since he came on in the 6th inning. Tried working the lower part of the plate to not much success here in the early going.
Pitch is also inside, now 2-0 here for Silvestri. Suns' real kryptonite was Hebner, who had a no-hitter going into the 5th inning. There's a pitch. That one low and outside. Now 3-0. And we're holding up on this one.
And he did kind of labor in the 5th inning, but I'm still not entirely certain why the Blues elected to remove him from the game at just 68 pitches.
I think to preserve him possibly for the next start. He did go through the minimum required for the win. To qualify, that is. As here is the 3-0. That one is low for a ball. A 4-pitch walk from Silvestri, his 3rd, and just an inning plus.
That is certainly true, and it is early season, so that does supplement that argument. That said, you're then turning it over to the bullpen for the next 4 innings, and you're kind of wearing through arms. Now, Silvestri here could very well give you 2 innings out of the pen, but he's kind of laboring as well after giving his 3rd walk.
Here's Josh Gurnack, first pitch to him. Outside corner, just too far low, however, it seems. And now the count here is 1-0.
5-0, rather. He hasn't thrown a single strike this inning.
So the count's 5-0 then, Andrew. Here's a pitch. That one finally called a strike because it just barely hits the lower inside corner. Silvestri, the 1-1. Fouled off, way behind us. And that one's going to bounce, and that one is going to nearly hit a car, but not quite so. Thankfully. It's a 1-2 count to Gernak, the catcher. Again, he's 1 for 2, a single his last time up. Now the 1-2. Swung on, seeing eye single into right field. They're going to hold up Mendoza over at second for Gernak's second straight hit of the ball game.
Again, mounting up base runners here in the late game, only down 4 runs. A rally at this point is far from impossible.
Third baseman number 13, Brett Morrison. I think, are they electing to go pinch hitter? We'll find out. Yes, they are. That is going to be Kyle Cronk as a pinch hitter.
In a situation with 2 runners on, you've struggled to hit the ball all day in the middle of a skid, really needing to come up with a rally to try to infuse some life in this offense. And Brett Morrison did have a couple strikeouts in the game, and apparently they thought they needed a little bit better here for a pinch hitter, bringing in Kyle Cronk.
On second is Mendoza. On first is Gernak. Now a pinch hitter, number 2, Kyle Cronk, will step up to the dish.
Cronk, a 125 hitter, 1 for 8 with a triple. And of course, if he could replicate that 1 base hit, the Suns would be much better off than they are right now.
Kyle Cronk is an outfielder. Pinch hitting for third baseman. We'll see how the defensive change shifts out.
Well, we do know that Brian McHale, Dylan Faircloth, and of course Alexander White are all flexible.
That one slapped foul.
Faircloth generating starts at third, first, and in right field at some points this season. We've seen McHale around the middle infield a little bit, and we know Alexander White can play in the outfield. So yes, I suppose we'll just have to wait and see.
Here is the 0-1. That one does catch the inside corner after a late break. I believe that was actually a cutter from Silvestri. Silvestri with a pitch, cut on and missed. He's running over to first, but there's no outs and first base is occupied. So heading back over to the dugout after a strikeout is Kyle Cronk, the number 9 hitter, wearing the hat today with 3 total strikeouts, 2 for Morrison and add 1 for Cronk.
Definitely not what they wanted when they plugged Cronk off the bench. He doesn't last any more than 3 pitches and doesn't generate any sort of productive out with 2 runners on.
He was down by every way of the strikes.
That is not opportunistic in any sense.
Foul ball called strike, swing and strike. That one a called strike, 4 strike in a row. This one going to Chad Shade, however. Count is 0-1 to Shade from Silvestri.
Silvestri beginning to turn the tide a little bit. He began the inning with 5 straight balls, and now he's settled into a little bit more of a groove here.
5 straight balls off 5 straight strikes. Well, that pitch, oh, wow, that one's well high to the point where Dustin Stetson, the home plate umpire, ducked.
Clearly ending his strike streak he had going.
There is a 1-1. Below the 5-hole of the catcher, and that's no throw. That's going to be a ball and a wild pitch.
Exactly the kind of break the Suns needed now with runners in scoring position. Have to capitalize on this somehow. Can't come away with this empty-handed. Getting base runners in general has been a trying task for this team today.
Here now the 2-1. That one hits the plate, goes all the way back to the backstop. Another wild pitch, and that will score a run for the Suns. It's now 4-1. The shutout is gone, and everyone moves up.
We're like, hey, you guys don't want to score a run? No problem. We'll just hand you one. That's almost what it's taken for this offense to do something. Finally get on the board, but they are completely spoon-fed one of those runs. Still, you'll take that. This game is now It's been pretty tight through and throughout. Within 3 runs, though, momentum could be shifting a little bit.
It's a 2-1 count to Chad Shade. 3-1. Next pitch does catch in there, a called strike, and now it's full 3-2.
Had the opportunity to bring some runs in back in the 5th inning. Now with a similar opportunity with a runner on 3rd. A full count pitch coming up. I would pitch him very carefully if I were Silvestri.
Silvestri with the payoff. Outside and low, that's going to be a walk, bringing up the tying run at home plate potentially.
Just 4 walks from Silvestri in his outing so far, and it looks like that might do it for him.
Yeah, this is Ronnie Palmer. I believe that will be it.
Reasonably so. Silvestri effectively wild, as you and I like to say, Billy. At least until he gave up that earned run.
So there's one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on the corners. Suns bring up the potential tying run at home plate. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Pitching the ball to the Bristol Blues, trying to clean up the mess that's been presented to him. It's number 37, Casey Elvin. Elvin has appeared in 2 games, pitched 4 innings, 3 hits with 1 earned run on 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, holds a winning decision along with a 2.25 ERA. And although Silvestri is responsible for the 2 runners on base right now, and if they were to come across, they would be attributed to him, you otherwise have an unofficial final line on him. Hurled an inning and a third, faced 9 batters. So far, 1 earned run on 1 hit. The ugly number, though, he did walk 4 and threw 2 wild pitches consecutively, which allowed that run to come across. He struck out 1 and threw just 20 of his 43 pitches for strikes. So a rough time doing for Mark Silvestri, and he will give way to Casey Elvin.
Casey Elvin coming in relief. Suns, it looks like they do have someone warming up in the pen. Right-hander hurler, I believe that's number 33 for the Suns. We'll get to that in just a minute. Pitch is well high and in for a ball 1-0.
Funny thing, Brian McHale dealing with a very similar situation he dealt with last inning, coming on to face a new pitcher.
Dean Strike warming up in the bullpen, I should say. This one, a hot shot going into center field. This could score a run. Nolan gets underneath it. And yes, the Suns will get a sacrifice run out of this. Brian McHale with a sacrifice fly.
I mean, hey, that's exactly what you heard below. That's how you do it. You don't have to put it over the fences. Just cut a little bit into that deficit, a little bit more. Still a couple innings left to pick up those extra 2 runs. Suns offense finally showing some life after what seems like forever. Cutting into the Bristol lead, it is now 4-2.
Number 20, Dave Matthews, the center fielder. A couple strikeouts, also a walk. First pitch to him, breaking ball that does hit at the knees on the inner half of the plate. Cold strike, 0-1. From the stretch. Pitch. And when a breaking ball that misses high and away. Pitch is also outside. Now 2-1. Albin sets from the stretch. Leading off first is Shea. Pitch is well high. A snow cone there from De Los Santos with a good stop. Now it's 3-1. We saw more balls than strikes thrown by Silvestri. We're seeing much the same here at Casey Elbin.
I wonder just how much the cold is having an impact on its ability to locate.
The 3-1 swing and miss there from Matthews. And now this will bring things full at 3-2. And off with the pitch is going to be Shea. He's already a speedster on the bag, so if Matthews can put this in play, watch out. Runner goes, payoff. Well, you have to put it in play as in fair territory.
And not hitting our crowd mic.
Three balls, two strikes, two men gone, a man on first. Matthews representing the tying run at home plate here in the bottom of the seventh. Elbin, payoff. Low and outside, great eye from Matthews, and the potential tying run is on base.
A beautiful eye from Matthews. That was a seriously nervous seal take. That one right outside the zone. Just a beautiful take from Dave Matthews. Amazing patience. Good job working the count. And the Suns actually have the go-ahead run at home plate right now.
Dylan Faircloth, the first baseman. He's 0 for 2. A couple of flyouts to the corner outfield, as well as a walk to his credit. First pitch. Nearly got a piece there of Faircloth. That one's inside. Elbin with the sign. 1-0. Off the end of the bat, right back to the pitcher. He's going to take it himself, flip over to first in time. That will stop the offense there after 2 runs come aboard off of 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on base. With that, we now head to the top of the 8th. 4-2, the Blues lead the Suns. We'll be right back with more Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
Following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
New pitch in the ball game for the Suns. It looks like it's number 12, Kyle O'Neill. O'Neill has appeared in 1 game out of the pen for the Suns to this point, and he threw a hitless inning that saw him walk a man, and he has a 0 ERA as a result. And, of course, that will do it for the reliever Isaiah Mestre, who gave the Suns some pretty solid innings in relief. He hurled 2 2/3, giving up, facing 10 batters, giving up 1 hit, no runs, threw a couple wild pitches and struck out 6. 43 pitches, 33 going for strikes. Deadly efficiency from Mestre, and that will do it And it will now yield way into Kyle O'Neill, who will look to hold the line for the Suns to hopefully rally, breaking out the bats in the bottom of the 8th and, if necessary, 9th.
8-9-1 hitters due up this inning. Hunt, Sagan, then the top of the order, Osberg. O'Neill's a true righty, 5'9", 165 pounds, sophomore out of Felician College with the Golden Falcons in Rutherford, New Jersey. He does have a small frame. He's 5'9", 165, but he has power. Throws as high as 92 with a fastball, a curveball change, and a rare sinker.
Hope we get to see that sinker in action here.
This one, a bunt right back to O'Neill. He'll pick that one up, throw over to first in time. One pitch, one gone.
Making it pretty easy on him getting into the ballgame with a 1 pitch, 1 out, courtesy of the bunt.
And it doesn't hurt too bad that in high school as well, O'Neill not only was a pitcher, but he was also a shortstop. So really not new out there is O'Neill, as I flashed in a smile with a glove on his head. Getting the ball, just a good grip on the ball.
Rain's kicking back up again.
Shortstop Sagan sees a pitch that goes past the catcher, De Los Santos. Or excuse me, not De Los Santos. That's actually from the Suns. That's Gernak. The Suns crowd still getting behind the Suns as that one bounces in as well. Now 2-0.
Couple rough pitches back to back. Rain is really picking up now. It's getting a little bit heavier than we're accustomed to. It's starting to find its way here into the press box.
Right onto my paper.
Yep, right onto mine as well, and my laptop. Beautiful.
O'Neill, the 2-0. Big cut and miss late from Sagan on a fastball. Couldn't catch up with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
And no wonder that was also nowhere near the zone. It was really low. Just a bad swing in general, and on a 2-0 count. Very questionable swing.
The 2-1, that's foul tipped. And the count now is 2-2 here to Sagan.
Rain is really coming down now. This might be the hardest it's been all afternoon.
Well, for the Suns, they can't have this game be called due to rain. They're down 4-2. It's past 4 innings. They need to get this game through and through. Pitch just misses outside, and outs full 3-2.
I'll go have a look and see what I can find for weather for these last 2 innings. But hopefully you're all right, Billy. That scenario.
O'Neill fastball well outside, and that'll be a walk to Sagan. So bring out the top of the order, Ian Osberg.
Ooh, yeah, in roughly about half an hour, we're supposed to get some really big rain.
Let's try to get out of this one. Left hand hitting Ian Osberg. And the pitch just below the knees for another ball. The count here now 1-0. A lot of balls starting here by Kyle O'Neill. He really needs to find the plate. But in a very cold weather game like this, that's a taller task than said. As this one's a hot shot headed towards short. This could be 2. Flip over to second for 1. Over to first.
Easy.
For a 6-4-3 double play.
Easy, easy, easy.
And apparently everyone's confused on the outs. Another flash of a smile there from O'Neill. And he faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We now head to the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Blues lead it. We're going to listen in to everyone sing Sweet Caroline right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Everyone's still having fun here at Wahconah Park. Alexander White, the designated hitter, will lead things off the 5, 6, 7 batters. 1 for 3 on the day is White. That one's in there, called strike, 0-1. Next pitch. That one looks a little in, if not high as well. The count now is 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody gone. A very cold, wet, rainy, muggy day in Pittsfield.
Colder by the second.
2-1 is the count following the ball that was upstairs. And the next pitch, that one's also high for a ball, now 3-1. Suns trying to get a victory under their belt. Heading off to Martha's Vineyard for a 2-game set. They're actually going to be spending the night, then having their own matinee game on Thursday. Pitch. That one's in there. Called strike, making it full 3-2. Albin for his second inning of relief, first full. Sees the next pitch. That one drops low for a ball. That one is going to walk White. And here's the second baseman, number 8, Drew DiMartino.
Lots and lots and lots of walks from Bristol over the last couple of innings. Allowed the Suns to kind of creep back into the game a little bit, with the offense being mostly punchless. The Blues have almost tried to help them out.
Couple fielder's choices for Drew DiMartino. He's 0 for 3. First pitch. Watching this one. Shirts over the outside part of the plate. However, it dips low. 1 ball, no strikes. Dean Strike still warming out in the pen. 1-0 is high for a ball, 2-0.
Warming up in at least 2 different ways out there.
Well, of course, yes.
Of course, one of the such ways might just be a lost cause at this point.
2-0. Pop up, first base side, but running out of room is Brereton. Well, the rain really starting to come down here.
Oh, indeed. It's getting worse by the minute.
The 2-1 cut and miss from DiMartino. Tried to drive that one. It's 2-2. Albin has the sign and pitch. High fly ball going into center. Nolan is underneath it. And he makes the grab.
And even though that's a routine fly, it is actually really starting to pour now. And you have to wonder how difficult it is having to contend with so much rain hitting you in the face and even making it hard to see the ball in the air. So a good job making it a drama-free fly ball. It is really starting to pour, and the wind is just getting worse and worse.
First pitch. That one in there on the upper end corner here to Vicente Mendoza. A couple walks to his credit. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and also a run scored. This one a hot shot going into right center field. Center fielder on the track, and he's able to make the catch again. Nolan with a great grab.
And, of course, take what I just said, applying it to a typical routine fly ball, and then apply that to one you have to run down that could have easily dropped. Very impressive defense out there in center field.
And now here's catcher number 26, Josh Gurnak. Gurnak has 2 of the 3 hits for the Suns. This one tapped in between third and short, gloved by the third baseman, flip over to second. That will end the inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We now head to the top of the 9th. 4-2, Blues lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
Lowest prices in town. Dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
Huge selection. Enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
See store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
New pitch in the ballgame for the Suns in what is quickly developing into a very torrid scene right now. That is number 33, Dean Strike. Strike has appeared 2 games at this point, trailing 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 earned runs while walking 4, striking out 3, good for a 6 ERA. And it is absolutely pouring out there on the field right now, so you have to wonder if warming up a little bit longer might help try to fight against the command issues he may otherwise be having in this absolutely frigid scene.
Laparco, Brereton, Nolan, 2, 3, 4 batters as the first pitch is high for a ball 1-0. Next pitch from Strike is blown away. Now 2-0. Rain's starting to ease up a little bit. It's pretty bad early on. Next pitch. Inside corner, called strike. Here now the 2-1. Yes, he did go with a 3/4 of a swing, or like 4/5. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. For 1 Dean strike. Pitch. Fly ball right field side towards the picnic area. And that one's going to go off the fence. Waving off the sign, no. No again. Now the pitch. 2-2, cut on him at strike 3. Great location, making him chase outside.
Indeed. Just really mixed up his location, and that entire batter faced right there. Worked a lot inside and finishes him off with an outside pitch.
Getting some innings here for Dean Strike, that being single innings. Same thing for Kyle O'Neill. Only gave up a walk. Richard Brereton. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks, an RBI ground out, and a stolen base, as well as a strikeout wild pitch. They're going to wait to see if this one goes foul. And will it? It will not. That is a bunt single for Brereton.
An amazing bunt at that. Laid it down on a dime. That was perfect. Easily getting aboard. Actually counting as Brereton's first base hit as well.
Center fielder Connor Nolan batting from the left side. He is 1 for 4 with an RBI single, also a run scored. Also has a couple strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Drops low for a ball, 1-0. Well, I think I'm going to have to print out new paper coming tomorrow as this one's fouled back. That one nearly got a piece of our crowd, Mike. My paper is absolutely soaked.
Yeah, mine as well, and so is my laptop. Fun times, fun times.
I have player profiles here. I have, well, defensive alignments.
Not anymore,
umpires.
you don't.
Well,
Not anymore.
It's still there. Just barely. A ball, a strike, a man gone, a man on. Here's with the Aces wild pitch to Nolan. Strike delivers. Cut on, swung on, missed. It's a 1-2 count as he was expecting that one blown away. That one was low and well inside. Now a step off. There is someone warming in the pen for the Blues. Here the 1-2. This one fouled back towards us, and that one, yikes. That was about, I want to say, not even 2 feet away from our press box. And thankfully, this fencing and netting is here.
Looks like that's Neil McDermott warming up in the pen for the Blues.
Now the 1-2. One outside. Now 2-2. Runner goes at 2-2 is low, gets away from the catcher. But that one is going to be ruled a stolen base for Brereton.
They were even if the catcher did corral it cleanly, they were not going to get Brereton at second.
Third stolen base for Brereton today.
Yes, they've been unable to really do anything about Brereton at all. He's just having their way with whoever the Suns happen to have on the mound. He's trying to push across an insurance run here in the top of the ninth.
Payoff. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Good fastball that was up. And that is the second strikeout for Dean Strike, living up to his name. And here is Miguel De Los Santos. De Los Santos is 1 for 4 today, reached on an error. Also has an RBI, a run scored, and a stolen base. All from the catcher. Runner goes, and the pitch is in there. Call strike, throw over to third. They got him. They got him.
Ooh, greedy, going for his 4th stolen base and nothing doing there. An interesting decision to try to steal third with 2 outs on the board. That's going to ultimately come back to bite him and cut the Bristol Blues offense short.
Well, it looks like there's a closer coming in for the Blues, but in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom of the 9th, Suns need 2 runs. We'll be right back with more Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days? Using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham Radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham Radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
New pitcher in the ballgame to gather the save for the Bristol Blues. It looks like it's their closer, number 32, Neil McDermott. And all told, McDermott has appeared in 2 games out of the pen, has thrown 2 innings of walking just 1, striking out 2, and has collected 2 saves in the early goings of the season. And of course, that's going to go ahead and do it for Casey Elbin. Elbin gave up no runs, hurling an inning and 2/3, facing 7 batters. He walked a couple, but that was it. 25 pitches, 13 of which were for strikes.
So for Elbin, he's also in line for the hold. Remember, trying to go up for his 3rd save and as many innings as well, and chances. A pitch is low here to Kyle Cronk. Count here is 1-0 to the center fielder, who replaced Brett Morrison at 3rd back in the 7th. But for both men, they combine 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 1 out. This one a hot shot Squibber going over towards second, throw over to first, in time, 1 gone.
See a lot of biting and cutting on Neil McDermott's pitches right there. He just had Kyle Cronk tied up. Not really able to do much. The ball doesn't even leave the infield.
All right, fielder number 18, Chad Shade. He is 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a stolen base. Here's a pitch. Did that one look like it either hit the catcher or the home plate umpire? Either way, it's low, 1-0.
So Santos took probably about a solid 10 seconds before he even knew where the ball landed. Wouldn't have been so good if there had been runners on base.
Pitch is low for a ball. Now 2-0. The 2-0 now holding, and that one's in there called strike. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Blowing outside corner, called strike. Shade not liking the call.
Shade trying to be really patient with just 2 outs left to give for the Suns to rally in this one. He's trying to get himself into a favorable count. Not really working on that last pitch.
That one low. Good eye there from Shade. Now it brings it full 3-2.
Shade has shown some really solid patience in his time here with the Suns. Doing a great job working the count to full. That's exactly what you want in a leadoff guy.
Neil McDermott with a payoff. Low for a ball. That one's going to walk Shade. 3rd walk on the day for Shade. He is a very, very hardcore threat on the base paths. And now here comes the potential game-tying run in the shortstop, Brian McHale, who last time up at a sacrifice fly. First pitch, right there at the knees. Fastball, called strike.
That had some heat to it. I wish I could have got a radar gun for that one.
One had to have touched 90.
Definitely.
That one inside. Count now is 1-1. Just over 3 hours of game time here thus far. 3 hours and 1 minute thus far. Now the 1-1. That one upstairs, 2-1.
A lot of that can be attributed by these longer plate appearances and at-bats generated by pitchers having a difficult time at command as a result of the weather. That would probably be largely.
This one over to second. However, this could do it. Flip over to short for 1. Over to first, ladies and gentlemen. That will end the ball game.
Unfortunate ending to the game for the Suns. Dropping another game.
That will do it now. A 5-game losing streak for the Suns as they drop this one. Doubled up by the Blues by a score 4-2. We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns postgame show heard right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. And now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park in Pittsfield with your hosts, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belarger.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Suns unable to get the offense going late, and they dropped this one by a score of 4-2, now in the midst of a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, and it's been a really rough stretch of baseball for the Suns today. It's a different narrative every game. I mean, the pitching wasn't all that bad in this one. It was just one rough inning, and the offense couldn't pick the team up.
So for that, here's a quick scoring recap. 4 runs in the 5th. That is as tightly contested ball game as it was in the first half of the ball game. A true pitcher's duel between Hebner and Rogers. But as the cold war on both pitchers, as well as the pitch count, so did the ability to not get contact for batters. 4 runs came in. An RBI ground out by Brereton. RBI single by Nolan and De Los Santos. And then also a single by Ethan Hunt. All of those with 1 single RBI. That was all the runs for the Blues. And for the Suns, that was pretty easy there as well. For the bottom of the 7th is when the runs came in for the Suns. You did have a wild pitch score, Vicente Mendoza, but also a sacrifice fly for Brian McHale as well. This ball game ends in a 4-2 loss for the Suns.
Yeah, real rough one there. 5th straight loss coming out of the gate. The Suns really slow. It's going to drop them to dead last in the FCBL. Certainly not what you would hope the team would do coming out of the gates. But, Billy, if you and I have learned anything about this team in our long time here, it's that they have their ups and downs, much like last season when they started the season off 8-0 and then lost 8 straight games.
Winning pitcher for tonight's contest, Jason Hebner, doing a fantastic job in starting effort. Getting the loss would be Joey Rogers, who, again, was doing fantastic up until that 5th inning. Getting the save will be Neil McDermott in 3 appearances, 3 innings. He has 3 saves, and he is 3 for 3. And getting the hold will be Neil McDermott as well. The Pittsfield Suns, again, they dropped this one by a score of 4-2. For the Suns player of the game, that one is going to go to Josh Gernak. He had 2 of the 3 hits for the Suns, and he also scored a run. And for the Pittsfield Suns pitcher of the game, well, that one is a little bit more tightly contested, but I really find it being hard to not put this man, having him being the pitcher of the game, that being Isaiah Mestry. In 2 2/3 innings, he faced 10 batters, struck out 6 of them. He only gave up 1 hit and threw 2 wild pitches, more than likely due to the cold. Threw 43 pitches, 33 for strikes. You really can't ask any more of Mestre.
Yeah, pretty solid relief appearance. Came on to clean up a bit of a mess Joey Rogers got into and did admirable in picking up the pieces.
And for this, again, Suns dropped their 5th straight. They are now 1-5. And Andrew, before we have a 2-day break as the Suns are on the road in the next 2 games, what are your final thoughts on tonight's contest?
Well, given the Suns are about to enter a mini road trip, it can be easy for the team to let things get away from them as they lost a few straight home games and have had some really tough times swinging the ball, throwing the ball, and a number of different things. But, well, if they can come away with at least 1 win over their next 2 road games, they can right the ship here. They are 1-5, last in the FCBL. They have a little bit of catching up to do, but, well, I believe our next game is going to be Friday. Maybe things will have gotten better for the team.
This ball game started at 10:45 after a brief 15-minute rain delay to begin the contest. It ended at 1:47 for a game time total of 3 hours and 2 minutes in front of a full capacity crowd. I'm talking standing room only. We had a lot of participants here for tonight's ball game. Now, for that number of what you ask, that's a lot. 3,709 participants here for the matinee game in the school day. Now, for the Suns, they'll be playing the next 2 games on the road. Tomorrow night in Martha's Vineyard, and then the next morning in the Martha's Vineyard. And for the first time for the Suns, they are going to be spending the night in Martha's Vineyard and spending the night on the road. The next time you will hear from us is going to be on Friday, that being this upcoming Friday on the 8th, as the Pittsfield Suns host the Worcester Bravehearts as a second home against the Bravehearts, 3rd within the first 2 weeks of the Suns season. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us. Again, for that game time, it's first pitch scheduled, and that will be at 6:30. But for the first pitch, well, that one's going to take place at 6 o'clock. So that will do it for us, ladies and gentlemen, for players, coaches, umpires, and fans, alongside Andrew Belargent. This is Billy Madewell signing off, saying thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wahconah Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pittsfield Suns is strictly prohibited.